I believe that you will agree to the fact that Safari is one of the most used application on our iPhone, iPad or MacBook, which is why I believe that right now is a pretty good time to discuss few tips and tricks about Safari. Hello geeks, my name is Yash. Today we are going to discuss the same and you're watching iGeeksBlog. I'm sure that almost all of you might have already noticed that in iOS 15, Apple has shifted the position of address bar from top to bottom. And I believe this is giving a pretty good and refreshed look to the browser. So there's a pretty good chance that you already know that you can swipe on address bar to jump from first tab to another. But if you belong to a group of people who are not happy with the design change of shifting the address bar from top to bottom, I have a pretty good news for you. Yes, you can change the position of address bar in settings.
What?
All you have to do is, while you're visiting any web page, just tap on this AA icon and tap on Show Top Address Bar. And done. Address bar is back on top just like old times. And while you're doing this, if accidentally you close any important tab, like there are some tabs that contain web pages that are hidden deep inside a website. And to search for that particular web page again on that website is like almost an headache. Yeah, we will avoid that and we would try to reopen that particular tab again. On your iPhone, all you have to do is go to Safari's start page, long press on plus icon, and there you have it. A list of recently closed tabs will appear in front of you. You can just tap on it to open. And if you want to reopen last closed tab on your MacBook, here's how you can do it. In Safari menu bar, click on History and click on Reopen Last Closed Window. Or alternatively, you can also use the shortcut Shift plus Command plus T. If you are in a hurry and you want to open a new tab on your iPhone, the process is pretty long. First of all, you'll have to open Safari, then you will have to tap on tabs, then you will have to tap on plus icon, and then you will have to search for that website. Let me tell you a shorter way to do this. On your home screen, long press on Safari icon and tap on new tab. And done. All you got to do right now is just enter the name of that particular website and you're good to go. So let's just say you're using Safari on your MacBook, you're visiting some web page, maybe some article from iGeeksBlog.com, but because you're in a hurry and you want to read about a specific part of that article, here's how you can do that. While you're visiting that web page, press Command plus F, enter the keyword that you want to read about, and Safari will highlight that particular word everywhere on that web page. Along with that, Safari will also let you know how many times that particular word has appeared on that web page. We all love listening to music, and almost every day new music creators are launching their music on YouTube. But if you want to listen to music on YouTube while you're doing anything else on your iPhone, you will have to pay for YouTube Premium, right? Actually, I think Safari can help you with that. Open youtube.com in Safari on your iPhone, sign into your account if you haven't already, open the video that you want to play in background. Now go to home screen by using the swipe up gesture. But now you will notice that music is still not playing in the background. I know that. Process is still not finished. Just bear with me. Open Control Center. Now in the media control, just tap on play. And now you can lock your iPhone, use another application while you're listening to music on YouTube without YouTube Premium. So let's just say that you're using Safari almost regularly, but for some reason Safari is not able to perform like it used to before. In this situation, clearing your cache files might help you out. To do this on your iPhone or iPad, go to Settings, scroll down and tap on Safari, scroll down and tap on Clear History and Website Data. And to do same on your MacBook, all you have to do is open Safari, open Preferences by tapping on Safari, go to Advanced tab and enable Developer menu in menu bar. Now click on Develop in menu bar and click on Empty Caches. If you want to export any particular web page in PDF format on your iPhone or iPad, here's how you can do that without using any third-party application or any third-party website. On your iPhone, open that particular web page. Now take a screenshot, tap on the screenshot thumbnail, tap on full page by using the pinch in and pinch out gesture. Select the size of web page that you want to export in PDF. When done, tap on share. Now you can airdrop this particular document to your MacBook, maybe to your boss's MacBook directly, or you can even mail them using your default mail app. And to do same on your MacBook, basically exporting any web page in PDF format on your MacBook is even more easy. Here's how you can do that. While you're on a web page, all you have to do is click on File in menu bar and click on Export as PDF. Now you can give name to your PDF document, select its storage location and click on Save. I'm sure that almost all of us use extensions in Safari on our MacBooks. Maybe to improve our grammar, maybe to enhance our productivity, maybe to block some ads due to privacy reasons. But are you aware of the fact that you can do all of this on your iPhone too? First of all, go to Settings, scroll down and tap on Safari. Now scroll down a little and tap on Extensions. If you want to install new extensions, tap on More Extensions. This will redirect you to the App Store, where you can search and download the extension that you want to install. And once you have downloaded and installed that particular extension, and use the toggles to customize this extension according to your needs. So this was process of how you can install extension on your iPhone. But if you want to do same on your MacBook, the procedure is a little different. Let's check it out. First of all, open Safari, open Preferences, click on Extensions, click on More Extensions. Now from App Store, search and download the extension that you want to keep. Once the extension is downloaded, Safari will alert you with a notification. Now enable that particular extension by clicking on it. Now, depending upon the nature of that particular extension, you might also be asked to allow some permissions. If so, do that and you'll be good to go. If you belong to a particular group of people who use same set of websites almost regularly, Apple has allowed you to keep all those websites in a group. Now what this will do is basically it will avoid you from headache of opening each and every website again and again. And now all you have to do is just tap on group to open all the websites simultaneously. In order to create a tab group in Safari on your iPhone, follow these steps. First of all, open Safari, tap on tab icon, remove all unnecessary tabs and keep the tabs that you want to add in a group. And tap on tabs. Now tap on new tab group from number of tabs. Assign a name to this group and tap on save. Now whenever you're visiting any web page, all you have to do is just tap on tab icon, tap on number of tab and select the name of the tab groups that you just assigned. Sometimes what happens is along the time we get pretty bored of how our browser looks, maybe on your MacBook, maybe on your iPad, maybe on your iPhone, because we are regularly watching that. I believe that's very human thing, and instead of switching to any other browser, what you can do is basically customize your Safari according to your needs. So let's have a look at how you can customize your Safari on your iPhone. Open Safari, scroll to the bottom and tap on Edit. Now this window will allow you to enable or disable all the sections that you want to see on the start page of Safari. You can customize your start page according to your needs, and towards the bottom you would notice the section of background image. Apple has already given you some options to choose from, but if you are unhappy with this collection, you can tap on this plus icon and select any photo that is already on your device. Do you know that you can also customize Safari start page on your MacBook? Let's see how. Open new tab and towards the bottom right, click on Settings. According to your preferences, enable or disable any section that you want to see on start page. Along with that, you can also change the background image to the ones that Apple allowed you to. And if you're unhappy with the collection, just like on iPhone, you can click on plus icon to locate to the image that you want to keep as background image of your start page. Alright, so these were the tips that I believe will help you to use Safari in a better way. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button, and please make sure you hit the bell icon as well so that you stay updated with each and every video we upload. Thanks a lot for watching. My name is Yash. You're watching iGeeksBlog.